Hey there, folks. Spencer Rempel, the Moose Whisperer, bringing you exciting hunting and outdoor stories from around the world. Exciting stories like my friend Rob here has to tell us. He's been on the channel before, so I'll make a link right here so you can check out some of his other stories, but you're going to enjoy this one today. So, without further ado, heck, let's get right into it. Rob, tell us a little bit about yourself and the story you got for us.
Well, I've been hunting since I was 18, and my favorite spot to hunt in New Brunswick was over on the Miramichi River, and that's where my stepfather was born. So he was the one that got me into fishing and hunting.
New Brunswick guy. I'd love to hear that.
Yes, for sure.
So me, it's been all in the West in BC and Alberta.
Yeah.
All of my hunting in that, eh? So I'd love to connect with people from over in the East. There, I've been, but I've never been hunting over there. Yes.
Beautiful.
Continue.
It's a different atmosphere totally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's all hardwoods and stuff like that. Like one of my bear videos that I did with you, mentioning about the hardwood ridges and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So there's very little of that here. Right?
Yeah.
So one of my stories, and this is a great time of year because of the spring thaw. Okay. So April 15th in New Brunswick is the first day of fishing season. And so April 15th, I'm looking for water, looking for open water to go fishing when I was younger, right?
Most things still froze up, or it's kind of it's open in the middle, but it kind of froze on the edges, or
there's very few fissures. Like there will be a crack in the ice, and as the water runs through it, it just seems to open it up. Yeah. So it's a narrow, long channel. So
yeah, so that's what you're looking for.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah, out on the ice looking for that.
Not drilling any holes.
No,
you're looking for open water.
And it's on the river too, right? On the Miramichi River.
Yeah. Right.
So anyway, so I go over there, and first thing I see is open water. Yes. So I tie on the fly, and away I go. Streamers, right? The spring for salmon. So anyway, so I walk out onto the ice, probably a couple 300 yards out onto the ice, and it's safe, thick, right? So I'm fishing away, and by and by, I hear these kids talking. I look over, and it's friends of mine coming down this big hill, and they see me out on the ice, so they come on out, and we have a talk, and we're talking away and stuff like that, and talking away, and all of a sudden I hear this bang, bang, smash, smash. Like I was like, the heck is that? Is that a truck coming down the hill? And they were like, I don't know. And then all of a sudden we turn around and we look upriver, and then the ice is just going up and over, like the size of the bus. Like, I mean, huge cakes of ice flipping over. Meanwhile, I had all my line out, all my main line, almost all my backing. I'm like 400 or 500.
Oh, you're fly fishing out there.
Yeah, that's fly fishing. Okay.
Okay, right on.
So yeah, so I've got all my line peeled out underneath the ice, right? So I look up the river and I see this ice smashing and smashing. And the guys were like, let's get out of here. So they take off.
But how far away do you estimate that was? You're looking
probably a quarter mile.
Okay, good.
Not that
you got a bit of a ways, though.
Right? So I start reeling. And I'm reeling, and I'm looking over my shoulder. Meanwhile, my friends are over on the shore, right? Yeah. They have banded chipped, right? So I'm reeling as fast as my arm could crank that thing in, and I'm still into the backing. And I turn on, I look upstream, they're upriver, and I look up like that. I can still see the ice just crashing, smacking, getting louder. And I look back at my line, and the water is brown, just like that. So I'm like, holy cow, it's going to get bad fast. So then all of a sudden I can feel the ice lifting, and I'm still standing out, like I say, 200-300 yards out on the ice, and I can feel the ice lifting, right? So I'm reeling as fast as I could, and finally I'm into my main, and I get it right up, and I reel it in, and I start going, and I turn around and I look for shore, and I can see the ice bobbing and starting to move down. Oh, my heart was just pounding, right? I start beelining for shore as fast as my legs would carry me, and the ice is breaking around me as I'm going for shore, and I get just about to the shore, and I look, and the water's just going like this. That's how fast, like a foot a second. Like that's how fast that water was coming up. And I look over like this, and the ice is, the main channel has a turn, and it was that way, and I was in this little in this little area.
Yeah.
So it bypassed a little bit of me, and it was pushing. That's why the water was all going in there.
Oh, yeah.
So I stopped and I looked, and the water was like just going like a foot a second. And I stopped and I couldn't make the jump. So I ran back and I ran again as hard as I could. And I made the leap, and I jumped into the water, and I jumped out, and I don't even think I got wet.
That's how it's so fast.
That's how fast it was. And then we get on the shore, and I was like, holy cow. And we stood there for a minute, and it was like just going crazy. The ice just smashing and pushing and stuff. And the power of it, the unbelievable power that this ice has.
A lot of people like in the South won't understand just what happens when a river lets go. Like it'll all of a sudden break upstream somewheres, right? And there'll be like a chunk come down, and it starts hitting the other ice, which is now thinner.
And it dams it up. It dams it up, and it holds back a bunch of water, and it's just like a big, huge toilet type of thing. It just like holds back all the water, and then it gets so much force, all that weight of the water, and then once it starts it's just like a big, huge tidal wave, and it just takes everything.
It'll shove huge hunks of ice underneath the ice, right? And then underneath that, and then it
breaks it all,
breaking and pushing and breaking until it all lets go.
Until it all lets go. So we're standing there, and then, like I said, it was pushing back towards us, the ice on the shore.
So now, these giant chunks are getting heaved.
Are like getting shoved right from the main channel.
Yeah.
So we said, well, let's go down to the bridge. So down the road, I don't know, probably a mile, there was a covered bridge. So I hollered up to my stepfather. I said, Herb, let's go. I said, the ice is breaking. So he's lived there his whole life pretty much, and he's only seen it a couple of times. Caught it. He's either because it doesn't last that long, right?
Maybe it's in the middle of the night. Maybe he's not home. Whatever.
Right. Yeah. So he's only saw it a couple of times. So for me to see it was like winning the lot type of thing. It's always a big talk around all the coffee shops and stuff about the ice letting go and all this stuff, right?
I imagine it happens pretty fast too.
It does.
And you're watching it, and what, half an hour later, everything's done.
It's gone.
Yeah,
it's like the ice is pushed wherever it's going to push, and the river's opened up clear across. So we go down. The road.
Yeah,
my stepfather jumps in. We jump in the truck, and we drive down the road to this covered bridge. And it was probably one of the few covered bridges that were left in Brunswick. There's Heartland, of course, the famous one up in Heartland, Brunswick. The longest covered bridge.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah.
All right, I'll put a picture up of that. We can see that.
And so this one here is in Hayesville, by Boys Town, New Brunswick.
All right.
So, so we were standing out on this bridge. And we're looking down over the side, watching these massive, huge, thick cakes of ice coming down into this old piers, just shaking this bridge like for all it's worth. When you think of it now, it's like that could have taken the bridge out.
Oh man,
it was just literally shaking that old wooden bridge, right? But yeah, we were
literally like those people that watched like the tsunami waves coming in.
Yeah,
exactly. That looks like a big wave.
And
all of a sudden, it's too late.
Yeah, exactly. But so we stood there and we watched it for a while, and it went down, and then they track it going down the river.
Oh yeah.
And then because it'll jam up, and then it'll cause a huge flood down the river and stuff like that. Once it gets going and stuff like that.
How close it's hitting those piers on the bridge, and then was the bridge really high, or was it?
Oh yeah, the bridge is high. It's in a valley type of thing, right?
Oh yeah.
The bridge is up high.
I bet a neat place to watch it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You can just, hey, look, there's a stick on the ice. Watch a stick go, right? Or something like that. Yeah.
How loud is it when that ice is pushing and heaving?
It's like a rumble.
Oh, yeah.
Like a good thunderstorm.
Oh, yeah.
Like when it hits, it's just grinding.
Yeah. That's the ice grinding against itself. That's the sound that you hear.
So then once it's all done and the ice is all pushed past the bridge and stuff like that, and everybody says, okay, well, let's go home, right? And look at the damage. So we go back up to the trailer that we had there, and there's like 12 feet of ice shore. So much pushed up. 12 feet high? 12 feet high.
Oh, man.
So in order to get out to fish, we have to canoe. So where do you put a canoe?
There's a 12-foot ice wall protecting the river now.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, so we got a portage.
This is even in Canada, folks. This is what we do. It's just a giant fish.
Die-hard fisherman. So we carry the canoe up the river, like up the shoreline, till we can get up around this little cliff area and then lower it down into the river so we can go fishing and then pull it back out.
Yeah.
And but you're always on guard, right? Because there's still ice coming down. So when you're in the boat with your anchor out fishing, you always got to be aware of another piece of ice coming out behind you. It'll
like icebergs, like chunks.
Oh yeah, like big chunks just under the surface or whatever. Yeah. So it's pretty sketchy, but yeah.
Did you catch any fish?
That day I caught a couple of trout.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you fish for in there.
Yeah, there's Atlantic salmon. That's the main one that comes up and stuff like that. And then in June there's a sea trout run. They're beautiful. Big, huge sea trout.
Oh, I never caught one. Love to. I've seen them before.
Orange inside. The insides of them were like orange. And but it's all fly fishing. It's beautiful. Very beautiful. And
it's an awesome story, Rob. I think we got time for another, though. I know that you're a wealth of outdoorsman experiences, so how about you hit us with another one?
Sure. Okay, well, in the same area, because like I said before, this is where my stepfather introduced me to fishing and hunting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my first deer.
Oh, all right.
Yes. There's been some massive deer over there, like massive. And anyway, so we went over hunting. It was,
you're how old, though?
Oh,
first deer. I'm thinking maybe you're young, but I forget when you started hunting.
18.
Okay, yeah, correct.
So we go over. So my stepfather, I think I had school. Was I in school? I think I was in school, so I had to take the day off because my birthday is in November. So it's in the middle of the rut. Best time. I was blessed to be born in the rut.
Right on.
So anyway, so we brought a neighbor of ours who brought him with us, and we went across the river, and we took the canoe, we went across the river, and I was like, okay, well, this is going to be all right, but it's just so steep, right? And the guy that was with us, he smoked. So he would walk, and my stepfather, he smoked as well. So my stepdad, he goes, all right, he says, I'm going to walk up the shore here. And he said, you guys walk up the hill. It's not a hill, it's a mountain. Right?
Okay.
You guys walk up the hill. And he says, I'll meet you up on the top somewhere. I said, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. So we get about halfway up the hill. And the guy that was with me, he says, Rob, I gotta sit down and take a rest. So he sits down. So I'm like, okay, it's my first deer. I got my license now. I'm 18. My birthday was the day before, right? Because I turned 18. I got my license, but it was Thursday. So I had to get over there on Friday, right? So anyway, so I had my license, and I'm like all anxious and stuff. So my stepfather let me use his old 303 British. That was my first gun, so that he let me use. So anyways, so we're getting up
303.
Oh, good old 303.
A 30-30 or a 303. That is so much. That's most people's first gun.
Yeah.
I shot my first deer. It was my grandpa's 30-30, or is it my dad's 303?
Yeah, they've killed more animals than the biggest they've got.
I've got a couple of both of them.
Yeah, I mean,
right on.
Yeah. So we proceed. We're going along, and we get to the top of the hill. And there was like a gully. I remember there was a gully, and it was like fir thickets in front of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bears.
Actually, no bears this time. Good.
So there was a fir thicket in front of us, and so he's like, I'm going to sit down again. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So he's sitting down. He's having a cigarette this time, right? And sitting on a log. Meanwhile, there was like a little gully, but there was a tree laying across it. So I'm being the cat. I get up and I step onto the log, and I start walking across this little ravine gully. And I'm halfway across with everything. I'm standing there looking around. All of a sudden, I look over like that. Let's see a doe. Probably 120 yards away.
Nice.
Then I see a little one. I looked to see a buck. I was like, okay. So he was over there looking. I was like, okay. So I was focused on this deer, right? And I was over a little farther. There's the doe. There's a little one. And there's the buck. Okay. Well, maybe they'll come over here. So I put the gun up.
Yeah.
And I waited. Oh, there's the doe. There's the little one. There's the buck. Boom. And blew myself right off the log, right? Never shot that guy in my life. Never.
You're standing on this log.
Yeah.
How big was the log?
Oh, the log was like 6, 8, 10 inches or whatever.
Not very big.
Not very big. But
It's just balancing there.
just balancing there, yeah. No sticks to hold on to or nothing.
It got you
And
excited.
fired me right off of this log, right? Down into the gully. It was open sights on this old verdict, right? No scopes that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, boom, I went down over, scared the daylights out of the guy that was with us, scared the daylights out of him, right?
What'd you
Where
like?
you shooting? Right on my back down in this ravine.
Oh, some
So-
brush or anything?
Oh,
Your
no.
fault?
I don't even remember. I think it's sort of like on a side hill, so I hit and just rolled down the valley.
Okay, well, good thing
And it
you're
was-
seen and you
Yeah.
feel
I
that
recovered.
bounce.
Yep. So anyway, so I get up and he goes, "What are you shooting at?" I was like, "I'm shooting at a buck." What? Where was that? I said, "He was up this way." So all of a sudden, by I could hear my stepfather, "Rob, was that you?" I was like, "Yeah, that was me." So we start walking out and we're looking. He goes, "Well, where were you?" And I was like, "I was standing on that log." And I said, "It was up that way." So we looked. And I was like, "Okay, they were heading this way. Did you hit them, you think?" It's like, "Yeah." I said, "I think I did." Okay, well, let's start looking, right? You know how hard it is to find something in little fir trees that are right?
But so it's an over 100-yard shot,
Yeah,
freehand,
freehand,
open sights.
open sights.
I consider that a hard shot.
It's very hard to balancing
Yeah. Yeah.
and adrenaline, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyways, I was like, okay, well, I think I hit it. Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we walk up and we're getting looking. Tim's over here looking, and my stepdad's over there looking. So I was just like, okay, if it's like there, and I walked up, found the tracks. It was just a couple inches of snow at the time.
Nice.
So I found their tracks,
Mm-hmm.
and I walked across, and I was like, yeah, I know it was right here. I walked right over there, and when I shot, I spined him and
Ah.
he rocked
Right
where I hit him, right?
Oh,
It was like everybody was looking over here and over there, but yeah, he rocked literally right in his tracks. That's why he disappeared, right?
Yeah.
Right? I didn't
Well,
see
both
him
of you-
go after that. Right?
You pulled the trigger,
Yeah.
and he fell down, and you fell
And
down.
I fell down at the same time.
That's right. Yeah. Boom. Both of you guys went down.
And away we went. So yeah, so we get the deer, we find it or whatever, and
Yeah.
of course my first deer. So I end up cleaning it all up,
Right.
dressing it and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was like my stepdad. Of course, he was there to show me and stuff like that. But yeah, I remember dressing my first deer, and yeah, it was all good. And then we haul it out.
Your stepdad was there, so he just.
Oh, yeah.
But you took.
I
over
did the whole
everything
thing.
yourself. He was just there to help if
Yep.
needed. Yeah. Good.
So we
Good teaching.
yeah,
Good learning.
for
Way to
sure.
go.
for sure,
There you go.
nothing any better than getting your hands into it, right?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
the best lesson, best teaching.
Yeah, exactly.
So
But,
he-
sorry, I just want to say, what kind of a job did you do? Did you do just normal, like you just split them open, brought the guts out, kept the whole body whole?
Yep. Yeah.
Didn't do any skinning first?
No.
Yeah, bring them out
Just-
this way.
Yeah. It keeps them cleaner, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you unpack it or whatever, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, so we
All right.
got it and just drag it out.
nice.
So there's enough snow. And of course, remember I said we were climbing uphill?
Yeah.
I rode that deer to the bottom. I got on that deer and I held him by the head.
That was a white-tailed toboggan?
It was white-tailed toboggan. And my
There's
stepfather...
I have another story in my bank that's about a guy who rode an elk down the mountain as a toboggan. Check that one out here. All right, the white-tailed deer is a toboggan.
Yeah. So anyway, so
Hold the head up.
I held the head up and away we went down his hill. And it was good. We got him and put a tag on him and stuff. And my stepfather goes, "You sure you want to tag him?" I was like, "Why?" "Well, yeah." I said, "I'm going to tag him." He goes, "Well, that's kind of big for your first deer." Like, a nice big 8-point, right?
Oh, nice.
That was just over 200 pounds. I think it was 250 pounds. I think it was.
Really? Yeah, that's a
Pretty
big-sized
Pretty
deer.
good sized deer.
Yeah, 4-point on both sides. You said
Yep.
8-point.
And yeah, so we got it down, threw in the canoe, brought them across, and yeah. But some of the deer there,
Do you guys call them eight? Do you guys call them that over there in New Brunswick?
Yeah.
If you shot you call it an 8-point, not a 4-point.
Yeah.
Okay.
pulled
That
one.
I didn't know that. I thought that was just a U.S. thing, actually.
Oh, really?
They all in the States, they always do. You know, you got a 10-point.
Mm-hmm.
But in the west of Canada, we never do. It's just a 4-point. And I always wondered where that border was, where that
I know it's in New
changes.
Brunswick. There's not much further east than that.
Yeah, and you all say both sides
Yeah.
together. Okay. All right. Maybe it's more of an eastern than a north-south thing.
Well,
I'll have to look into that.
Well, of course, half of Alberta, they're all from the East Coast anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
So when you speak to it, it's an 8-point, it's a 10-point, or it's a 6-point.
Yeah.
And that's 10 points. Anyone that I've ever spoken with,
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
So there you go. I learned something.
easy.
Yeah. No, but over in BC,
Yeah.
we always just the one
One side.
side.
Interesting.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you moved to Alberta.
So
Got
much.
some good stories.
It's
Fill your freezer every year.
Yes,
No,
sure.
shake your hand, buddy. Thank you for some great stories. Folks, you'll probably hear more from Rob because we just love sitting around and talking. So, I mean, what are we going to do? Let's film it. Maybe you'll enjoy it too.
Yes.
You want to tell a story? Send it in to info@themoosewhisperer.com or come and visit me here in my studio. I'm just close to Edmonton, and you can sit here with me and tell us some good hunting stories, just like Rob has done. Once again, Rob, thank you, my friend.
Thanks, Spencer.
All right.
Appreciate it every time.
More stories to come.